All right, so today I want to talk about some players, some teams that may end up surprising you guys this year, but I'm telling you right now, you should not be surprised. Whether it's a change of scenery, just development, or a bounce back year, I feel like you guys should not be surprised, but you probably will be. And I want to start with the Dallas Mavericks as a whole, I guess, but specifically one player, because I do feel like people understand how good this team can be depending on AD staying healthy and how good Cooper Flag is from day one. And I do feel like Clay's gonna have a good year. I do feel like Max Christie's gonna be in most improved conversations. But there's one guy that has the potential to make this like a great team, and that is D'Angelo Russell. And yes, we're still here with D'Lo. I think D'Lo's gonna have the best year of his career because if you look at the team, one, you can make a realistic argument that this is the best team he's ever been on talent-wise. That's debatable. But you can't really debate. There's never been a team more set up for his skill set than this one. Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington, Cooper Flag, just lob threats everywhere. Klay Thompson, Max Christie, some shooters on the wing. And they need him, right? No Kyrie Irving. They don't have anyone else like him on this team. He's the best passer on the team and best shot creator. And at this point in D'Lo's career, that's not really going to happen anywhere else. So if there is, I don't want to say like some leap because we know exactly who D'Lo is, a very good player. But if there was a situation to get the best out of him, it's this one. And another reason I feel pretty confident in him having a big year is because I'm pretty sure AD is who vouched for D'Lo. So to me, that says that D'Lo will have a little bit more rope than he would in other situations because I can see Jason Kidd getting tired of D'Lo very fast with some of his decisions, some of his shots, right? But in this situation, AD wanted him. You don't have any other shot creator. I think D'Lo is going to be free out there, and we're going to see some crazy nights from D'Lo. And last year might have been the worst year of his career shooting the ball since maybe his rookie year. So I think he's going to have a bounce back year, and I know it's not going to be a one-to-one comparison, but if we go back 2 years ago, right, the 23-24 season, and if we look at the numbers of D'Lo, AD on the court, no LeBron on the court. They played 636 minutes that year without LeBron, and D'Lo per 36 in those minutes put up 20 points per game and 8 assists per game. I think he's gonna have a year quite similar to that, which would be a career year. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I really see it just looking at this team and what they're gonna need from him. So the Mavericks being a very good team probably won't surprise you, but D'Lo having a career year might surprise you, and I'm telling you right now, it shouldn't surprise you. Now, another player who's older, right, 26 years old, and we've kind of been waiting for him to have a breakout, and it was supposed to be last year, but he ended up being hurt for a majority of last year, and I'm talking about Emmanuel Quickley, a player I'm not the biggest fan of, a player I'm not predicting this is going to happen, but I'm kind of saying don't be surprised, because if you look at this Raptors team, if you look at what do they do well, in my opinion, I feel like this is one of the best playmaking teams in the NBA, right? Of course, they don't have a Halliburton or a Jokic, but if you look at top to bottom, their starting five, Jakob Poeltl, above average passer for his position, Scotty Barnes, well above, Brandon Ingram, well above, RJ Barrett, well above a passer for their positions, and the one guy who's maybe not is actually Emmanuel Quickley. And I'm not saying he's this atrocious playmaker, but if you look at for his position for a point guard, is he above average? No, I think he's average. And for this current Raptors team, that's actually fine because he's going to be the one that's going to be the volume three-point shooter. He's going to be the one guy on this team, well, along with Grady Dick, that's going to be shoot first, right? I think they're going to be probably a better three-point shooting team than people realize, because I think Brandon Ingram's going to shoot a lot. I think RJ might have a better shooting year, just the attention that Ingram and Scotty Barnes are going to draw. But Quickley's going to be the one guy, just shoot it. Because B.I. is going to want to drive. He's going to get into the mid-range. He's going to kick out. Jakob Poeltl's going to want to move the ball. Scotty Barnes wants to move the ball. And he has to be that release valve for all of them, right? It's going to be a lot of Ingram to Scotty to Jakob to Quickley. And I'm not really sure what that means in terms of counting stats, but I feel like Emmanuel Quickley is going to have his best year, and his play is going to be the unexpected thing that takes this team to a different level. Moving on, and it's kind of crazy that we're here, but people are gonna be surprised if Milwaukee is good. And I don't think we get to do that, right? We don't get to look at what Giannis has been doing and be surprised if they're a good team. Now, I know they haven't been a high seed recently, but the East is down. And this is not me saying they're gonna go on some championship run, although I could see like a 2018 Cavs situation happening here. But in terms of regular season basketball, having Giannis and the little bit of a playmaking leap he took this year or last year, and just a bunch of shooting around him. Maybe a bunch is strong, but Miles Turner, Bobby Portis, Gary Harris, Gary Trent, Taurean Prince, AJ Green, right? Just a lot of shooting around them from the guard position. Now they're very weak at the 3 and backup 5, depending on what you want to consider Bobby Portis. But to me, in the regular season, that might be enough to be a 4 seed. And low key, I completely forgot Cole Anthony was on this team. I think that's a little bit weird. I don't think you need to have KPJ, Ryan Rollins, and Cole Anthony, so maybe one of them gets moved. But a lot of shooting around Giannis, and I think something that's underrated, or maybe not underrated, but like something we don't take into account really, is the Bucks have a bunch of guys fighting for their NBA lives. Now, you can make an argument that they are fighting for their NBA lives because they're not that good, right? That would be a completely fair argument to make. But I do think it's going to bring a level of energy and desperation to this team when you got guys like Gary Trent Jr. All these guys have player options for next year, right? But they're trying to get paid. Gary Trent Jr. in a market next year that's going to have money, unlike this year, right? So Gary Trent Jr., Gary Harris, Taurean Prince, Cole Anthony, Jericho Sims, all guys that can or will be free agents after this year. And a lot of times you could look at that as a negative, people are going to be selfish, all that, but it's Giannis, right? It's his team, and I think all those guys are going to be fighting just to stay in the NBA, because you could see a world where all those guys, besides Cole Anthony, are out of the league next year. And if you watch enough NBA basketball, you know in the regular season you can win a lot of games by just being more hungry than the team across from you, right? And I think Milwaukee is going to have that advantage on a lot of nights. So I think Milwaukee's going to be a 4 or 5 seed again, and people are going to somehow be surprised that Giannis led a team to a 4 seed. You shouldn't be surprised. And there's one obvious trade I feel like they can make, and it doesn't really fit with my description of 3-point shooting and hustle, but I think there's something here with a Bobby Portis DeMar DeRozan swap. Maybe got to package KPJ with Bobby Portis to make the money work, but to me that seems like an obvious trade. Because even though I'm saying I feel like they're going to be a decent regular season team, I do feel like having another real shot creator would help a guy like Kuzma, would help a guy like Miles Turner, right? So I think DeRozan might end up in Milwaukee. Maybe that's just me being hopeful as a DeRozan fan, but I think they're going to make a move. I don't know what that move is going to be, but DeRozan, very cheap, contract, very small, considering what he does for your team. Like, I think DeRozan's the guy. And that's where we're going to leave it for now. I have a lot more things that I'm not as strong on. Like, I want to say, don't be surprised if Phoenix is good, but do I really believe that? Not really. Not really. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't really believe that. I have more like negative opinions, right, on teams people believe are going to be great that I don't really see it. Maybe I'll make that video. I didn't really want to be negative, but we'll leave it there for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. It will mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.